Okay, so dear students, this is the 15th session on supply chain management. We all know supply chain consists of retailers, core company, and suppliers. We have had enough discussion on core company and suppliers. We have had enough discussions on core company and suppliers. Now, we spend a section on retailers. And retailers are of two types. One is non-E and other is e-retailers. Okay. And during my time, around 2014 or so, the pace of e-retail, electronization of retailers was not that high. I mean, during not since, but in say 2014, the pace of electronic retailers was not too high. And many retailers had ordinary manual systems. This includes retailers of all types. And I'm going to describe these types of retailers very shortly. Types of retailers. So, in non-E era, four retailer types were popular and they were hard discounters. Hard discounters are small shops that cater to daily needs of a small section of society. For example, I live in Ratan planet that has four buildings, and each building has about 120 flats. So there are 500 families in the complex, and there is a daily need shop. There is heavy pressure on prices and margins, as if the price is high, residents purchase from nearby stores where prices are low. If pressure on margins is very high, then it is called a hard discounter. And if pressure on prices is low, then it is called soft discounter. So this is what is the definition of a hard discounter. Then I have specialty store. For example, there is a jewelry shop that makes custom made jewelry. That is, it makes custom made jewelry that is tailored to the needs of customers. So that's a specialty store where you can give your measurements and requirements and want a specialized product made for you. So that's a specialty store. And then I have hypermarkets. Hypermarkets are huge sized retailers that has all types of products required by the city where it is located. Where it is located, such as Walmart, etc. It is believed, it is reported that the city of Paris is surrounded by about 12 hypermarkets. By about 12 hypermarkets. So they deal with all types of products. They keep all products required by residents of the city. And not necessarily they follow the norms of PWP, that is plant within a plant, or it is known as store within a store. They may or may not follow. The store within a store concept is you have different, you have different space for a high-end product and a different space for low-end product. They may or may not follow this. So this is the kind of uh, three types of retailers that we have seen. And now we have one more thing which is known as departmental store. Here, not all items are kept. But only a few of them are kept. Hence, they are small, very small, or rather very, very small hypermarkets. You know, A hypermarket will keep all items. Departmental store may keep not more than 50 items, just to give an example. So these are the four types of retailers that are existing or that have been reported in literature. So now I quote from the PhD thesis of my student Dr. Sabah Iqbal, where he has talked about where she has talked about organization, organization structure of organization structure, culture, and MCS, management control systems of different different retail formats. I will show it to you, her thesis, and if you want it, I can send it to you also. You can send an email to me. But before proceeding to that, let me draw similarity of these. Let me draw on the similarities of retailers and manufacturing organizations. And manufacturing organizations have been cost leaders who use mass production to keep prices down. And then I have differentiators who operate in multiple market segments, who operate in multiple market segments and use job shop or FMS, that is flexible manufacturing systems, for production. And there are analyzers who operate in all the segments, that is low cost and high end, or multiple market segments. So once I decide to do these similarities, one can easily see the cost leader is similar to hard discounters. But hard discounter has low volumes, whereas a cost leader has high volumes. But still, if one looks at prices and margins per product, margins per unit of product, they are quite similar. Then comes differentiator. I mean, it's easy to see they are similar to specialty store. They're similar to specialty store, you know, and one can very easily see that hypermarkets operate in all the segments and they are similar to analyzers. And departmental stores, which are mini hypermarkets, I mean, I will say mini and micro or even nano hypermarkets. And they are also similar to analyzers. Now, having drawn this similarity, it is easier, it is easier to relate, organize, relate organization, structure of, or it is easier to describe organization structure of different retail formats. Now I will just revise for your purposes that cost leader has high standardization, specialization, centralization, and formalization, and has high, or rather has low complexity of workflow. Whereas a differentiator has, I will copy it from here. He has, differentiator has low standardization and has high complexity of work. And you are advised to look up paper by Miles and Snow to revise your understanding. Revise your understanding. Or look up my old video on strategy and, and structure. So having made this simile, now I show you the thesis of Sabah Iqbal, who has described the organization structure of different non-e-retailers. I'll start quoting from here. I'll draw this I'll copy this from here. So which says convenience stores are classified as defenders and have high degree of formalization, centralization, standardization, and specialization, and have low degree of flexibility and complexity of work. This follows from the simile of convenience store or hard discounter to defenders or cost leaders. I simply reproduce this. I simply reproduce this. Now, just one more kind of a clarification. Convenience stores are hard discounters. Now, or I'll just put down here, defenders or cost leaders. So this simply follows from that. Now I come to a specialized store. Specialized stores are classified as prospectors and they have low degree of formalization, centralization, standardization, specialization, high degree of flexibility, and complexity of workflow. So this simply follows from that. So this completes the other part of theory development. And now I show you about the hypermarkets. So departmental stores and hypermarkets are classified as analyzers, which is having which are in between specialized stores and hard discounters on an average. So they have moderate levels of formalization, centralization, standardization, specialization, flexibility, and complexity of workflow. So this I simply reproduce from here and add it to our notes. and add it to our notes. And so this is how theory was built and data gathered has supported this theory. So the theory development is well grounded in real life data. So this is one part of it. Now I come to other part. Now I come to other part where I talk about culture and management control system. So, you know, uh, you are advised, I will just write it down here, to look up the thesis of Dr. Devjani, who related culture and strategy types, where it was said that cost leaders have high power distance and high uncertainty avoidance, whereas differentiators have low power distance, or I'll copy it from here, and by the same logic, although it was not said and supported by data by Dr. Devjani, but one could say that analyzer has moderate uncertainty avoidance and has moderate power distance. So now, by extending our simile that we have used, one can very easily say, that I'll copy it from here. So departmental, I'll just sort of copy it. You can just read it. Specialty store, which is similar to differentiator, has low power distance and low uncertainty avoidance. And convenience store, which is similar to cost leader, has high power distance and high uncertainty avoidance. So let me copy these things here as a part of theory development, where the theory of manufacturing organization was extended to different retail formats. For the first time. So this is what is the theory now. So this completes the theory development of culture of different retail formats. And again, mind you, we were correct. Real life data has supported this. Now I come to management control system, that is now I come to management control systems. Please revise your understanding if you're not clear by referring to previous videos. We said cost leaders use diagnostic control system. As they control few variables for managing the show, whereas differentiator has much higher uncertainty and gets into interactive mode for management, because the knowledge workers know what is achievable and what is not. So the same thing is extended to different retail formats. So let me show you uh, that file. It simply follows from the simile that we had used. And you'll be surprised. This is also supported by data, or rather real life data. So far, we have learned so much about uh, non-e retailers. So this is above is for non-e retailers. Now what we do is Sir Amy Porter said that electronic forms tend to increase standardization. It also leads to increasing centralization and increased specialization as discipline of specialized computer scientists or computer professionals becomes important. So using these concepts, now we come to e-retailers. And we have e-hypermarkets, e-specialty store, And we have here and E convenience stores. And we have E convenience stores. So by using these concepts, one can draw similarity. What could be the organization structure for e-hypermarkets? So this concept mingles with these concept above. With these organization structure concepts above, such as these ones, and the theory gets modified for e-hypermarkets and different e-stores. And this I show it to you from PhD thesis of Dr. Vinayak Dravi, who was my PhD student. So what happens is the E portion, let me come to the concept. The E portion tends to increase standardization, increase centralization, and increase specialization. So that will be the modification. And I simply quote from the PhD thesis of Vinayak Dravi and show it to you. Now, he has talked about enablers and disablers of e-retailers. So I would skip that and simply come to the organization structure part of it. Now, because of E part, the formalization also goes up because all the data is recorded. And it so happens nowadays with multi-process systems in place, you can have much better synergy between organization structure and the environment. According to requirements, you can tailor-make your organization structure. So that is what has happened. And so I'll simply quote it from there without much delay. So these are simply the hypotheses which have been stated. And I have also given you the logic, how the E part or the electronic part transforms, how the E part transforms the organization structure, okay, by drawing from Sir Michael Porter. And this is also supported by data, or rather, real life data. So theory is supported. So with this, I plan to stop here, and question answers can definitely be taken up. Thank you.